In our literature and writing, we keep on talking about love, compassion, kindness and all. And in fact, we writers, including me, we keep a parallel world with all these things. But same time, we tend to forget that to talk about sense of justice. That is giving the basic assurance for the basic rights for every citizens. We talk about love and kindness and we forget that love and kindness, everything is based on justice. And the people who actually fight for justice and they really fight on the ground, they are also not given enough recognition. And their books are not read as they should be read. And here, last week I was going through a book. This is Madam Commissioner. It is written by Meeran Chadha Borwanker, ma'am. And what a wonderful book. It's about her real lifetime experiences, her service story. And I was totally fascinated by that. And you know her, Madam Meeran Chadha Borwanker. She, in her life, throughout her life, she stood for justice. She was the first commissioner of police, lady commissioner of police in Maharashtra, and she shook the underworld during Chota Rajan's and Dawood Ibrahim's time, and she stood against corruption throughout her life. Actually, reading her book last week, I was totally thrilled. It was like something like a thriller novel or a Hollywood movie, something like that, ma'am. And hats off to her. So actually, I'm privileged to talk with her. Ma'am, people like you are the pioneers. Actually, when we came, we lady officer, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later, the path was not very difficult for us. But she paved, the people like her, the torchbearers, paved the path for us. And they have actually traveled through the totally uncharted territory. So in this session, we'll talk about a few incidents from her book. Ma'am will talk to you regarding that. And about her, if you all have, any of you have seen the movie Mardani, where Rani Mukherjee has acted. That movie was about her. She was called popularly by the media of Bombay and maybe all over India. The lady, lioness, Lady Singham, correct ma'am? If I'm not wrong. And Dancy Rani, the Iron Lady, what all?
I think we better start with
Fine, I'll start. The introduction portion is we'll finish.
So the torch bearers, I would like to acknowledge Sri Lekha. She's the torch. Please stand. I want everyone to see.
Okay, ma'am is here.
The first lady IPS officer of Kerala.
And it's a great pleasure to have you here, ma'am. That's surprise. So, ma'am, once we start, like in your book you are written, ma'am, the uniform is one of the most powerful tools for social change and justice. And ma'am is from Punjab, a small town from Punjab like Fasilka, and she has studied in Hindi medium schools. And in fact, you have traveled almost 5 kilometers by walk or by cycle with your sister. And she was from a small town, like a normal family. And she has become the first woman commissioner of police of Maharashtra. And she inspired a lot of people. She was inspiration for so many. Like not only because of that this thing, only for the girls, but for the boys also, because she was famous as a very non-corrupt IPS officer, not only as a non-corrupt lady IPS officer. So ma'am, what was the inspiration for you? Like you're from, and the values you could keep in your life, no? Like how did you get?
Okay, thank you, Sonia. You have really described me well, but I hope you guys didn't find it very boring. Okay, I would also like to know how many of you sitting here are going to appear for civil services? Oh, very few. My first question she raised and query she had was, I was from a very small town and yet I ended up in IPS and being the first police commissioner of Maharashtra. So I feel we should share it with the youth, the parents here, the sisters, brothers here, with the youngsters who are aspiring to be in civil services, that medium doesn't matter. whether you write in English or in Malayalam, or you have so much choice of language, what matters is confidence. In my family, we are 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We were always made to feel you can achieve. In fact, I would like to share an incident, which of course I have not in the book, because it's about my career and 38 interesting episodes which happened to me during my service. But the fact is that when as a youngster, I was a tomboy kind of personality, I wanted to use the scooter. We had Vespa and Lambretta. Those days only 2 kinds of scooters were there, and my father was in Punjab Police. My brother said, younger one, that she cannot, if you permit her, and if you give her rupees 30 for petrol every month, I should be given 60 because I'm a boy. And my father did not agree. So the value was equality, equality between boys and girls. I was sharing with Sonia, my sister is from IRS. She ended up as the chairperson of Central Bureau of Direct Taxes, Central Board of CBDT. I ended up being police commissioner because one value was equality between genders. I have 2 brothers. And second was, you can achieve anything. So if we give this positive message, which I got in a small town called Fazilka, it's a border town. It was a taluka, now it's a district. And in school, which was Hindi medium, which had no benches. In fact, my cousin who would come from Delhi would say, he would tell my mother, आप अपने बच्चों को टाटों वाले स्कूल में पढ़ा रहे हो. Yet it didn't matter. Today, Suhasini Ali ma'am said many schools are getting closed. It's better that we improve those schools than closing them. So equality, confidence, and honesty and integrity. I am very proud to say, my father was not from IPS, he was from ranks, but honesty and integrity were so deeply given to us in our virasat, in our bringing up, that those values have stood by me. Today I am a senior citizen, but they helped me all through confidence, equality, and integrity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, the values comes from where you got, like, that's a great answer. But one more thing, what inspired you? Like, the first lady IPS officer was Kiran Bedi. Maybe that news or
So my father, you know, he had a huge personality. Tall, wearing uniform. I would see the moment he would enter the room, the conversation would change, the hall would change, the atmosphere would change. So my father's uniform, and the fact that he could help many people. You know, India had just got partition. I saw him helping, of course my birth is later, but the weaker sections, the poor, they would stand outside our home. He would help them, and I realized that he is able to do it only because of uniform. So that attracted me.
Okay, ma'am, that's, your father was your inspiration.
Yeah.
Fine, that's a great thing, ma'am. And little bit from the most thrilling part of the book, little bit later in the middle session, your crime dance race in Mumbai, when you are dealing with this underworld, ma'am, there was actually, ma'am was intercepting, in the book, I am quoting the book and telling, the conversation where Hasina Parekar, Dawood Ibrahim's sister, he was telling his, she was telling her gangman or gangsters, like you, you do mass prayer to get Meera ma'am transferred. And other incident, like Chota Rajan is talking to his wife and telling, oh, Amara, Tinom Bachongo, all 3 girls, send to tuition. I want all 3 of them to become IPS officers. Actually, I found it very, very different because she was respected not only by the citizens of Bombay, Mumbaikars, but she was respected equally by the underworld also. Ma'am, please, like, if you can narrate it for us. Like.
So, I met Sonia yesterday and today also over lunch. She has convinced me that gender is not an issue in Kerala, right?
It's not like that, ma'am. Like, yeah.
How many agree that gender thing is over, it's past?
No, it's never over. It's still like...
So I would like to share that the government decided to make me the chief of crime branch Mumbai, but the order followed after more than 2 months. And I have discussed it in the book. My willingness was taken, and Sri Lekha, you are aware, they generally ask you, My willingness was taken, but there were so many doubts subsequent to my having agreed. How will she handle crime branch? You must have seen movies, totally macho kind of encounter specialists. But once the order came, through my 3 years tenure, I could show them that if a police officer is professional, good in documentation, good in law, gender doesn't matter. During that period of 3 years, when we were trying desperately to arrest Hasina Parker because she had given extortion threats to a builder, and it was so difficult to get a complainant in Mumbai. Everybody is so scared of Daud. And she just disappeared, and we found her lawfully surveillance put phone. She was telling her friends, कुछ स्पेशल नमाज पढ़ाओ ताकि मीरा बोरवनकर की यहाँ से बदली हो.
See.
So this also shows gender doesn't matter. Once you are clear that you have to arrest a person, lawful arrest, lawful surveillance of the phone, then gender is immaterial. It's the leader who matters. And the story, this also, yeah, I have mentioned in the book, the other story which I have not mentioned, but Sonia has accessed. This was such a positive story. Now, we would keep Daud or other gangsters' mobile on surveillance. We had also kept Chota Rajan. His mobile was on surveillance, and our ex-project officers would listen to the conversation. Once they entered my room, and they were both amused and distressed. Amused, why? This guy was totally drunk. He was ringing up his wife from somewhere abroad, and his wife's name is Sujata, but he would call her Nani. She's generally known as Nani in Mumbai and Chembur area. Nani, मराठी में बोल रहा था, नानी लड़कियां पढ़ाई कर रही हैं क्या? बोला हो, कर रही हैं. और ट्यूशन में जाती हैं क्या? हो, जाती है. और सीरियस हैं क्या? हो. अपने को उनको IPS बनाना है, IPS बनाना है. So it's a compliment to the uniform and to the fact that even gangsters, criminals have aspirations not only for the boys, aspiration for the girls. So this I have not discussed, but I think Sonia accessed it from somewhere.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, this means that you are always surveilling the habitual criminals, no, ma'am?
You are not one of them.
Okay, ma'am. And
so I would like to repeat, all this surveillance is done as per law.
And we in medicine, we say prevention is better than cure. And actually, that is what she has followed. And another very interesting incident, like from the book, which I want to mention is, again, two criminals, like it was Vicky Malhotra and Farid Taneja. Okay, they were talking, like they were doing these extortion calls, and they were sitting in Delhi. And ma'am has flown her team. She has flown them to Delhi, and this person, Vicky Malhotra, he was sitting in a 5-star hotel and talking.
This is a very, very sensitive case.
Okay, ma'am, if you can tell us. That will be better, like after this car chasing, you caught hold of.
So this is a very sensitive case also, you will come to know. So we were getting many extortion calls, and again, lawful legal surveillance, and we didn't know what to do. First, the ex-project people found out that the calls were coming from Kolkata. A team was sent there. Team came back after 10 days, they could not trace the criminals. The calls did not stop. Again, now this time they were detected in Delhi. I have given the detail about the case here in the book. And the team was flown to Delhi. And I think rest you read in the book, but I will tell you the gist is.
They will read it, ma'am, but for them, like.
Yeah, I'm telling the gist that when the team stopped Vicky Malhotra, who was in his car.
Right hand of Chota Rajan, no, ma'am?
Vicky Malhotra and Farid Taneja, both were gangsters, very deadly, dangerous gangsters of Chota Rajan gang. When the team stopped the car and wanted to apprehend him, arrest him, the person next to him who was with Vicky Malhotra said he should not be arrested because he said he is the former Chief of Intelligence Bureau. And then there is an altercation which we recorded, which is in the book, that we did arrest Farid Tanasha, Vicky Malhotra, then we did arrest Farid Tanasha, who was also in Delhi. And later on, this former chief of Intelligence Bureau.
You had a talk with that person at that incident.
That they should read, yeah.
Yeah, like he was asking you and you told like...
Yeah, he wanted me not to arrest. I said, no, it's not done. My team has flown all the way, and not arresting at the advice or at the command of a retired IB chief. When I am not even aware he really is an IB chief or not, it is not done. But that IB chief is today's National Security Advisor.
Ajit Doval. Ma'am, he still keep the same relation with you or like...
No, he dislikes me to the most.
Why? Like
you can Google this episode, it's there.
Okay. Ma'am, one more thing from the crime branch days only.
I think Sonia should be recruited in crime branch Mumbai.
Okay.
She likes it so much.
She was, again, you were trying to prevent a big crime. One movie director. Ma'am, was it the Mardani director or
no,
here?
No. So, okay. I would like to share, this is an interesting incident which is not covered in the book, but she has found out. So, through surveillance, electronic surveillance, we realized that
authorized only, no ma'am? Authorized.
Yeah, we realized that a particular very popular film director and producer was under threat, and the criminal said on the phone, he is in a building और नीचे डिब्बा खड़ा है. In Maharashtra, the dibba is a police vehicle, policeman. So we identified not only the area, but the exact location of the criminals who were waiting, and they had weapons with them, and they wanted to shoot this film producer who was sitting on the first floor. But he was not accepting the phone calls from my DCP. And in Mumbai, all the film people or big people, they at least keep the phones of Joint Commissioner Crime Branch, who leads the crime branch, and the Commissioner of Police. When I rang him up, he picked up my phone. And I was very agitated because we felt the moment he comes down, he's shot dead and we are also gone, that you could not prevent it. So I said, you will not come down. He said, why? I said, you will not come down. There is threat to your life and the guys are waiting downstairs. He said, what did he say? Madam, aap ek picture bana dun kya? So he wanted to make a movie, and I told him, you don't. I was also very agitated. I said, you don't have the maturity to make a movie on a lady police officer, so just don't come down.
Such a dedicated artist, ma'am. Was it that Mardani director?
No, he was not. Let's not talk about the names.
Was it Ram Gopal Sharma?
No, I'm not going to tell you the names.
Okay, ma'am. So, another time, ma'am, like it's also from the middle.
But first ask your audience, are they liking it?
Is it okay if we go in this way or a little bit? Yeah, fine. Okay, so fine. Then we will tell about your, she was the first chief of prisons of Maharashtra. She has done the hanging of Ajmal Kasab, Yaqub Memon. Actually, the chief of the prison, literally, they have to be there in the occasion. So, ma'am, that Ajmal Kasab, no, this 2711, terrorist. So you were hanging, you had done the hanging, and one fine day we all came to know in the morning, it was a big secret, like confidentiality was kept to the higher level, coming to know that he was hanged in the Pune, Yerwada jail, no ma'am. So in the morning, so it was, how could you do that much of confidence thing, ma'am? And hanging was done after 30 years in Maharashtra, correct if I am correct. And the procedural errors you were supposed to, you did it without any procedural errors, without. And the precautions you had taken while dealing with this extremely sensitive operation of national significance. First of all, why it was kept so confidentially, ma'am? And how many of you were knowing about that, this Ajmal Kasab hanging?
So now this is a very serious issue. One audience must know that police officer and prison officers, we are two different departments. So I had gone on deputation to the prison, and in my life I had never thought I will have to see hangings. And why it was kept secret was, there was a very strong intelligence input that to show that rule of law does not exist in India, he will be killed before he is hanged as per law. So this information was that either he will be killed in Arthur Road prison, where he was put,
That's in Bombay.
Mumbai, and his security was given not to Maharashtra police or the prison department, but to Indo-Tibetan Border Police, ITBP. So this, you have worked in army. So this feeling that he may be killed before the legal hanging, and just to show that in India rule of law doesn't exist, this input was so strong that government decided it will be kept secret. And therefore, it was an extremely tough task in the sense, court staff will naturally give you the black warrant. So the court judge knows, his staff knows. It ends up in Home Department in Mumbai and in the Chief of Prisons office. This process has to be seen by the Chief Minister. So it passes so many hands. It was decided it will be only sent by hand, no file will be sent through any messenger. And he was to be shifted from Arthur Road prison, where he was in very high security, to Yeroda.
Okay, but the people, those who took him, they must be knowing about this? Those who accompanied him? Or
so the team only consisted of the officers who had investigated 26/11 blast.
Okay.
So minimum people were involved either in transit or in hanging. But do you know, for hanging, a medical officer has to not only give you a certificate that the person to be hanged is medically fit to be hanged. If he is not, she is not fit, you cannot hang, but has to remain present there on the spot. A magistrate has to be present on the spot. So despite the secrecy, I counted around 40 people must have known. And yet, after the hanging, I got so many messages and phone calls. वो तो पहले ही मर गया था. आप तो झूठ बोल रहे हो, आपने hanging किया. वो तो अभी जिंदा है, उसको तो hanging किया ही नहीं. So our distrust in our own government, that came out, and the fact that we can carry out secret operations successfully. This lack of confidence. But I am very happy to say, and I give full compliments to Maharashtra Prison Department. Maharashtra Crime Branch officers only brought him from Arthur Road to Yeroda. And to all those who decided that it is in the national interest to keep quiet. You know, I didn't know that, but the officer from the Intelligence Bureau, one day prior to that, this I have not mentioned in the book, he asked me, Madam, sab theek chal raha hai na? He knew it. Maybe a few others also knew, but everyone felt that a terrorist who has caused the death of innocent citizens of the country, if he or she is being hanged following the due procedure of law, it is in the national interest. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And Yaqub Memon's hanging, it was not that confidential. All the media was after, you know, ma'am. And one thing I have seen in this book, like after the Yaqub Memon hanging, and you were actually standing there and getting it done, but his wife approached you for his daughter's passport, and you did it. Like physically you went after this thing and you could do it. And how it's, ma'am? Is it contradictory, or can you just explain that for us?
So, I shared with you, I never thought I'll ever see hanging. And here there is some gender issue here. The government has said that the chief of Maharashtra prison should remain present, but they didn't ask me to stand there. Why I stood was, I had a very big question mark. If I don't stand, that 99.9% male prison staff officers would say, bhai, mahila thi, lady thi, she could not see, she could not stand. So, to stand there was my own personal decision, right or wrong. But in Yaqub Memon's case, media pressure and the pressure from his family was so strong that if you recollect, and if you don't, please Google it. Early morning, say 7 o'clock, we have to execute as per law. and middle of the night, the Supreme Court opened its chamber and decided to hear a curative petition filed by his family. So that created lots of stress for us, कि होगा कि नहीं होगा. Media in a big way coming from all over the country. After having done what I feel is the due process of law, when his wife, through somebody else, through another senior officer from Delhi, approached me after about 2 months, whether I would help, maybe 3 months, whether I would help in getting passport for their daughter, I was shaken, I must admit. But I thought, yes, why not? The father was a terrorist. He is responsible for the killing of innocent citizens, not his innocent daughter. So when I went to passport officer in Mumbai, there was a lady officer there. She told me, madam, this lady has come to us many times, but due to some legal lacuna, we are not able to give her passport. I asked her who can help. She said Delhi. I took out the number of Delhi and the name of the officer, and I went and met that particular person. I had only one point, and by the way, I am a law graduate also. So I said, in case this child goes to court, you are going to lose the case. She will get the passport, because she has no role in that terrorist act. And that particular lacuna, we will have to overlook, and I am very happy to say I felt there was no conflict at all in the legal, lawful process of hanging and in the equally lawful process of getting passport for a child who deserved it.
Yes, ma'am. Nice to know. And one question, ma'am. And you were just an instrument enforcing the law, but you were actually standing there and getting the hanging done. And
I won't like to talk
about, okay, fine, don't talk about that. But the rest of the portion we'll talk. And you were describing in the book, the first Ajmal appeared like a ferocious terrorist, like we have seen his videos and all. And he was walking towards this thing. He looked like a child terrorist. Yeah. Yes. And
that's what my feeling was, and I have written it.
And no, man, not about that. Because usually you are so deep-rooted in the family. You share your emotional stress with the family, isn't it? But this time it was so confidential that must cause something. And you couldn't share it with so many people, and it must have taxed you in an emotional side. And how could you manage that stress, like which you faced of keeping the confidentiality and the high level? And one more thing in the book you are telling, like Kamatipura, you were raided.
Let's discuss this first,
fine,
Sonia.
how to
so
manage
Sonia
it.
and I were discussing the stress which this hanging would have created, and we both agreed it's not the stress which only a police officer faces. In everyday life, housewives are facing stress, students are facing stress, anyone, all of us face stress. What helped me was, I shared with her, self-talk. I talked a lot to myself that I am not killing anyone. This hanging is a lawful process. The case was tried and convicted at the session court level. Ajmal Kasab has been convicted by session court, so has been Yaqub Memon. Upheld, this conviction is upheld by the High Court, by the Supreme Court. Mercy petitions refused by the governor of the state and by the President of India. So what I am doing is lawful. I think self-talk, silence, that helped me in managing the stress. Silence also I feel is very, very helpful.
Another incident you were telling, like which shook you so much was Kamatipura raid, no ma'am. You were you are rescued so many young girls, and you made it very particular that you'll talk to them personally, correct? To a very minor girl or boy you are rescued from the brothels, you talk to them personally, and you were telling that those were also very difficult for you, correct?
In fact, Sonia, the only time I prayed to God was when I had myself made this commitment that any minor girl, if exploited sexually or victim of human traffic, I will talk to them personally. But I found talking to them the way they had been cheated, defrauded, exploited, it was so painful that in 36 years of my career, that's the only time I prayed for strength from God.
Fine, ma'am. So another thing I wanted to tell about this book is beautiful language. Very simple, but very poetic. And ma'am has written another 2 books also, Leaves of Life and Inspector Chowgle, if I am not wrong. Correct, ma'am?
Yeah.
Both.
Leaves of Life is inspirational for youth. And it would be, I would say, up to 14 to 20. But this is adult reading. This is about the criminal justice system in India, how it works, how the delay in courts is causing havoc. Sonia was telling me in Kerala the trials are fast. In rest of India, a rape case, and like ma'am, Ali ma'am said, left on parole, furlough, remission. So the long delay in courts is causing tremendous harm to the society. So this is that kind of book, adult reading. And by the way, Shri Lekha says that she is going through it and finding it very interesting. So if a colleague certifies the book to be interesting, I think...
Ma'am, I'm seeing lot of quotes and the parts from the books you have read. Usually there is a, like usual talk, no? We military people and the police people, we don't read. Like, how you, like, what do you think, like, last a police officer?
There's one incident. There is a friend of mine who is married to a guy who's an MBA from abroad. And now let me share with you, most civilians think that police is useless, it only uses the danda, and they don't think, then they don't write. So once my friend wanted a book which I had read, so I said, acha wo le jao, get that book. She said, can I send my husband to fetch it? I said, yeah. So the guy comes to my office. I think I am very high and mighty. I am sitting on my commissioner's chair, and he comes, he has tea with me, he takes the book, and then he looks at me and he says, oh, do police officers read? So please change your opinion about us. We not only read, we also write.
Write also, okay. Okay, ma'am, one thing, one part or one thing about you which I like the most, whenever you are tenure at any station, from your beginning as the chief of district also, evening 4 to 5 you used to give to citizens, no? They came
in fact, I used to have 4 to 5 meeting the citizens without appointment. And mind you, the best information I ever got was during the time when citizens would meet me.
And it exposes the underbelly of the organization, if I... Okay.
And also
and get
the title of the book.
Yeah, when she was the Pune commissioner, correct, ma'am? It will be better if she can.
See, now again I'm repeating, gender doesn't exist probably for Kerala, it does exist for rest of India. 2 girls, when I was Pune police commissioner, it's 2010 or 11, they had gone to have coffee in a cafe near the airport, Pune airport. And some boy sitting on the table next started harassing these girls. They got very irritated, annoyed, decided to ignore, but it became too much, and they rang up police control room. The officer took the call promptly, and he said, where are you? They said, we are in a cafe. What is the time? They said 9 o'clock. 9 morning or evening? Evening, why? Why can't you have coffee at home? What is the need for you to come out and have coffee at this unearthly...
Moral policing.
Oh, yeah. So those girls, but I must give credit. They came to my office. They took an appointment, came to my office, and they kept saying, Madam Commissioner, if you are the commissioner, this is happening to us. Madam Commissioner. So this title came, but just before that, about a month prior to that, my joint commissioner, who's from BITS Pilani, he had told me that I have upgraded the technology in our control room. Every conversation with the citizen is being recorded. So I told those girls, okay, sit. Let me call for that audio. Whatever they said, what is the time, 9 o'clock, morning, evening, what are you doing here? Why can't you have coffee at home? It was there. So while we took action against that officer who responded on the control room, it was also a big lesson to me that my officers may not behave properly, but I would say full compliment to those 2 young girls who dared to. How many of you have gone to the Commissioner of Police office? Please raise hands. Very few, because we avoid. but Srilekha will agree with me, we welcome you. We welcome you with your complaints, with your applications, with your information. Best information comes from the community.
Ma'am, another thing I want to ask about the...
So when do we open it for?
Another 3-4 minutes are there. You want to conclude, ma'am? Then I'll skip the question. The rest you can read from the book. And one more small question, like if... And in the book you are written, ma'am, at the age of 50 also, being an IG position also, you face sexual harassment.
So
Can you just...
See, I faced 2 very strong, disturbing episodes about sexual harassment at work. I have written them in the book, but the second one she wants me to talk about. It's there in the book, but what I want to highlight is sexual harassment at workplace when I am Inspector General of Police. I am 50 plus, mother of 2 grown-up children. This can happen. And I was just wondering whether, since I have a very powerful image of a crime branch leader, of handling gangs, whether I should discuss it in the book or not, but I did so because I feel let's face the reality. It's there in detail.
Okay.
And I'm not embarrassed that I have shared.
Yes, ma'am, that's good that you have shared. Ma'am, you have concluded your book with a beautiful quote from Maria Angelo. Beautiful lines, ma'am. Uniform and style regarding. So I am just, ma'am, if you want to conclude and give something, some
you
message.
You can read that, then I will conclude.
Okay.
Sonia has done real hard work. Please appreciate that.
Okay. My mission in life has not been merely to survive, but to thrive. And to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Maria Angelo, ma'am, please, that you can conclude.
Thank you. So I attended Ramchandra Guha sir's session. In a very joking way, he said, not serious, because he is an authority and a very deep researcher. He said that Rukun Advani made me, if you attended a session. My feeling is, to make or unmake is our own personal responsibility. We should own it. I am responsible for making myself from a girl who used to cycle for 5 kilometers, studied in that Tata Wale school, Hindi medium. If I am today what I am, I give due credit to my parents, to everyone who helped me. But the responsibility to make yourself is our own. Let's own it. Let's not look anywhere else except our own selves. And with youngsters, I feel, there are few of youngsters I can see. So I'm more conversant with Hindi. They keep asking me in various sessions, success, success. If we want success, I have 4 or 5 mantras. First is Sankalp. We must have a determination, have a pledge. But success means differently for different people. For success, we need Sankalp. Then we need Sehat. I have put all in S, 5S. Sehat is not only physical fitness. By the way, Sonia complimented me that I keep my weight very much in control. So thank you.
And Srilekha ma'am also.
Yeah, Srilekha. Yeah. So Sehat is not only physical fitness, emotional, mental, psychological fitness. So for Safalta, first is Sankalp, then Sehat, then Suvichar and Sanskriti. Good moral values which I got from my parents. Then Sanyam and Santulan. I feel that's very important. We, as youngsters, we get swayed by emotions. But discipline and self-control. And last is Seva Bhav. If my uniform is powerful because it is meant to help the weaker sections, the marginalized, the women. So, Safalta is equal to Sankalp, Sehat, Sanskar, Sanyam, and last but very important, Seva. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, what is your opinion? What are your opinions on the death penalty, and how was your tenure as the chief of prisons impacted that opinion?
Okay, so 2 questions. I am totally in sync with the Supreme Court, which says death penalty or capital punishment in the rarest of rare case. And I felt killing, shooting by terrorists where innocent citizens, children, women, who have done nothing wrong in their lives, they are killed. To my mind, capital punishment for such terrorist act is justified. One. About the prison, my tenure went off very smoothly, but two things. The number of under trials who have not been convicted, whose cases are pending in the court, is about 70% and plus. That's very big issue. And prisoners getting access to mobiles within the prison.
Ma'am, about the Sanjay Dutt thing also you can tell, like if you have time.
Okay, that's so access to mobiles, illegal access to mobiles, 70% under trials in the prison. These two are very serious issues. And about capital punishment, rarest of rare cases, especially terrorist cases. About Sanjay Dutt, please go through the book. Some interesting episodes are there. But I have a grudge against media. Media people, please.
In fact, you have gone to the court also. Yeah.
Yeah. So media should concentrate on prison administration, on where we face difficulties, tremendous overcrowding of prison because of the 70% under trials. But what do they concentrate on? Sanjay Dutt. So I have that grudge. Let's take interest in criminal justice system per se, and not only in the celebrities. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My question to you is, in dealing with criminals and terrorists, out of the 5 elements of criminology, which was prevailing in Maharashtra at that time in your career, and which one you prefer to deal with? And second question is, with the present criminal law amendment bill, your comments on that. And the third one.
No, I can take only 2 because my memory is short. So about the new bills, I would say I have already flagged the issue of tremendous pendency in the court trial. I would rather go for expeditious trials, and these new bills are old wine in new bottle. That's what I feel. About the prison system, I am all for reformation, but I don't see any conflict in the approach of reformation and rehabilitation of criminals and capital punishment where deserving. That's
and
it.
also, ma'am, I would like to hear something about victim compensation scheme in India.
Oh,
Post
victim
Nirbhaya.
compensation. Yeah. So while we go to the lady there, victim compensation and victim protection are totally neglected. I feel again the community has to take interest. Victim compensation is also being dealt with a very, very soft gloves. So victim compensation, victim protection, and victim becoming the focus of criminal justice system. That doesn't exist. So victim we lose sight of. We don't remember it, somebody whose family member has been exploited, murder. It becomes very, very routine legal process. So I agree with you, victim has to be brought in focus. He has to or she has to be given protection and compensation. Thank you.
Madam, having gone through such violent situations, you must have certainly faced some threats from your opponents. How could you keep yourself brave to face the threats?
So the first threat I got was through a letter. When Sonia, I was investigating that case where an 8-year-old child was raped in
You
Kolhapur.
are first tenure, no, ma'am?
Yeah. So even I was absolutely taken aback. But I took 2 decisions. One, never talk of the threat calls or letters to the family. Family gets very disturbed. And when I was DCP in Mumbai, you know what kind of threats I used to get before the mobiles came? There will be blank calls and they would be as if koi chakki chal rahi hai na piche se. That. When I was in crime branch, one day due to certain emergency, I had to go to my office late at night after 12. And suddenly I got a call from a guy saying that he wants to meet me. When can he come to my office? So I asked him, how do you know that I have come to my office? And later on I realized, I'm sorry to say, that one of my own staff members had disclosed my location. So one was, don't discuss these threats with the family, they get very disturbed. Second was, always be seen in uniform. So that helped me. My commissioner once said, I've discussed it in the book, that why are you always in uniform? If I were in uniform, not only did I feel empowered, the other person forgot my gender. He saw me only as an IG or DG. So these two, I talked to myself, and not discussing threat calls with family, and being in uniform 24 hours, that helped me.
Excuse me, ma'am. You spoke about the crowding of prisons due to under trials. But isn't there a decision that if the under trials have already stayed in prison for their, whatever their offenses, they should be released? So that what is the problem in not releasing them?
Ma'am, even there is a provision in CRPC and being reiterated by different governments, by center, by state, that if a prisoner has completed that much of his tenure, the tenure of the punishment to which he may be inflicted, she may be inflicted, he or she should be released. And Maharashtra is very cautious, and we do all that. Still, the prisons continue to be overcrowded. You can't, you see the Arthur Road prison. So this is an issue despite the provisions and the rules. Thank you. How many of you liked the session, please? Oh, I'm so thankful.
Thank you so much. So we'll wind up, ma'am.
And all credit to her. She's been really working hard for 2 days. And she's an army colonel.
Thank you, sir.